Hello everyone, it's Ngozi and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the policing of Black women. All right. If you're interested in this topic, make sure you like this video and subscribe, and let's get into it. All right. So for those new to my channel, I talk about natural hair, particularly type 4 hair, 4C hair, some wellness, and a little bit of lifestyle. But I noticed, with me talking about hair so much, there's like a trend overall, right? A lot of people on social media, men in particularly, which makes it even more annoying, have a thing about telling women how they should look, how they should behave, things of that nature, particularly Black women, because I think that I may be biased because that's a lot of the content I watch, but I think that Black men are just very comfortable talking about Black women in like a negative way online. I think it's just become something that's been very popular in the last few years, right? So when they talk about these things, it's usually regarding hair, not liking wigs, not liking weaves, bodies, not liking certain bodies, or wanting women to be natural, even though they want women to be natural but still have these BBL bodies that they like, but we're not getting into. They want the natural BBL basically, but we're not going to get into that in this video. And then a lot about like the lashes being too big and spidery and all that stuff. The nails being too long, colors, all these things, and just a lifestyle that I think that a minority, but being pushed in the media to be like a majority of Black women supposedly live. Like this, like sexy red, get money, not married, quote unquote promiscuous, quote unquote baby daddy, that type of lifestyle that I don't think is the average at all, but they make it seem as if that's like the average, right? IG model, IG baddie, fly me out, blah, blah, blah. I've been wanting to talk about this for a long time because I think it is important, when you have a platform, to sometimes make videos that may be a little bit different from what you usually talk about, and not even make it for views or for traction, but just to make it, to like have a voice in this conversation. Like I said, because a lot of times it is a very male dominated, it's had in male dominated spaces and platforms. And, there are some women also who, feed into this, and not to say that is necessarily a bad thing, because some of these things are coming from a good place, or they do have some validity to them. But when you layer them on top of all these components, it's just like, I feel like it's like a low-key attack on Black women, because we talk about there's a million ways to say something, and the way you say things really does make a difference, right? And I don't consider myself to be a sensitive person. I've been on YouTube for years. I can take, a comment, I can take an insult, like I'll reply to you respectfully. I'm used to it. But I do think that there are those who go out of their way just to kind of like bring women down, particularly Black women. Like they get like a high off of it, right? And the way I look at it is that, number one, especially as a male, right? I'm not saying that because you're a man you can't have your opinions and you can't have your things that you like and dislike, because that would be unfair. But unsolicited to me is the annoyance. Like if I ask you what you like in a woman, you have the right to say you don't want a woman who wears wigs, you don't want a woman who wears weaves, you don't like the big lashes, you don't like the nails, you don't like this, you want a woman that doesn't have kids. You have the right to have your preference or have this, that's fine. But I think when people go and run with it and just because make it trendy because they feel like it will go viral and people will respond and people will laugh, I don't think they realize how dangerous that type of stuff can be. Because number one, you're feeding into a stereotype that really is a stereotype, and it doesn't speak for the majority of Black women. It really doesn't. I always counter these when I have these conversations, even in real life, or like my guy friends, is that a lot of times people complain about these things, but that's what you like. Those are the women that you go after. You go on Instagram and you're seeing those IG baddies because you like those pictures, and the algorithm is pushing them to you. So if you don't like that, then go. There are a lot of, I have friends that I've never even seen wear a wig. Multiple. Like there's a lot of women who are not into that, but from what they tell me, they don't get the attention that the other women get. they don't get the attention that the women who you're claiming you don't like their lifestyle or the way that they look or the way they present themselves, the way they wear their hair, the way that they wear their nails. But those women are getting more attention than these natural women that you all claim to like. So there's a disconnect somewhere. Something is not making sense. Someone is not being honest. You know, there's a little gap there because we got to make it make sense, and it doesn't. So I'm not here to tell people on this channel. I don't push people to do anything. I don't say you have to wear your hair like this. You have to do this. You shouldn't. Or the makeup one too. Lashes kind of goes with the makeup, right? They don't like makeup. You don't like this. You don't like that. That's fine. But I feel like sometimes we have to really ask ourselves why and go deeper and really understand, like, when we say things, are we just saying things because it's trending or because other people are saying it, or do you really not like it? Because if you tell me you don't like makeup, but I go and I see the pictures you're liking are of girls with makeup, that doesn't make sense. You may not like heavy makeup. You may not like extreme lashes. You may not like wigs and weaves that don't match your natural hair texture or look extremely fake. You may not like, I think that's the thing, people understand that everything is not black and white. We live in a lot of gray. Most of the areas we live in are in gray areas. Life is not black and white. There's a lot of nuance. There's a lot of in between. There's a lot of, things that are very situational. So you can't, I feel like when people start casting out what they don't and do and don't like, it's like you're going to end up biting your words, because what you claim to not like and dislike, and then when I see in reality what you like and dislike, it doesn't really add up. And like I said, I'm not here to tell anybody what they shouldn't or shouldn't like, because that's a personal thing. But I do think that the way that it's being done, it can seem as if it's like an attack. Like it's very personal and it's deliberate and it's meant to bring a lot of women, black women, down, or to make them feel bad about themselves, the decisions they're making. And, I always say, if the shoe fits, wear it. If it doesn't apply to you, you most likely won't be as offended. Like when I see a lot of those things, I'm not necessarily offended, because a lot of it I don't believe applies to me. I don't really care what someone else that I don't know and I don't like thinks about. I'm not married to, or it's not my friend thinks about, those type of things. To me, it's like it's almost like a silly conversation even to be having. But I've noticed a trend when it comes to those type of conversations. Let me know, you all, how do you all feel about these things? Do you think that it's just something that people just giving their unsolicited advice and just commenting on, giving their opinions just to be relevant? Do you think that it's, something that happens in all races and ethnicities? It's just that maybe because I'm a part of the black community, I notice it more. So if you're someone who is not black, let me know how it goes in your community as a woman. There are a lot of things that you feel as if people, men in particularly, say they don't like about women in your ethnicity in terms of like the aesthetics. And that's the thing too, because a lot of it comes down to looks and aesthetics, right? And I just feel as if it's very superficial. Like, you have to get to know someone first. All those things withstanding, they cannot have all those things that you don't like and still not be a good person or not be a fit for you. So I think that it's just it's off-putting. And I understand where they're coming from, because, rap culture and things are becoming a little bit extreme, and we want to, preserve some type of, dignity, and we don't want children growing up thinking this is a standard, and, having 10-year-olds wearing wigs who don't have like alopecia or like a terminal disease or anything like that. I understand why some people are speaking out on there, but like I said, there's always a way to say things. There's always a time and place for things. Let me know if you enjoyed this video. How do you feel about this topic? And make sure you subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this. And I'll see you in my next one.